Hi everybody, and welcome to week 2 of the biology video series. If you're watching this, it means you spent 1 week finishing your notes using the exam planner. Great stuff. As we begin week 2, I've got some good news and unfortunately some bad news. I'll start with the bad news. Look at the list of topics in week 1 of the exam planner. You can be examined on all of that, which means you need to memorise all of that. Want the good news? This week, I'm going to give you techniques that make memorising easy and kind of fun. See, most people memorise by reading a section of their notes, covering it with their hand, and then trying to recite it. A really passive way of learning. This is really ineffective and it's called rote learning. Instead of rote learning, I'll give you techniques that give you funny and interesting ways of memorising. These techniques are called mnemonics. For the remainder of this episode, I'm going to show you in real time how to actually make a mnemonic. You can then apply this process to absolutely anything. There's 3 steps to making a mnemonic. First, you need to identify exactly what needs to be memorised. Secondly, you need to condense that information to make it smaller. And finally, you need to creatively link that information to other info. Let me show you how it works. I'm going to attempt to memorise the definition of hormones. And what are they? Hormones are signalling molecules produced by cells within an organism that regulate activity of target cells through specific receptors. Pause the video now and take about 1 to 2 minutes to try and memorise it. Then come back and see if your method was similar to what I'm about to show you. Go on, pause it, and give it a try. How did you go? Were you able to memorise it effectively? Or did you just repeat over and over? Here's how I did it. Firstly, I recognise that it's a definition, so I'll need to remember basically all the words in that exact same order. This one is hard to condense or make smaller, so instead I drew a picture because pictures are easy to remember as words. We are inherently visual creatures. So here's what my picture looks like. I drew up a picture of a cell very simply with a line coming off it pointing to a traffic light next to a little road with targets driving down it instead of cars. And I draw all of this within a big circle or an O, and the cars could drive through big Rs. This would tell me the following. First, I'd see the cell producing or pointing to the traffic light and remember that this is the signal, the hormone is the signalling molecule. Traffic lights regulate the activity of traffic or cars, but here I'd see that it regulates the activity of target cells, which are the mini targets through specific R receptors. All occurs within a big O, the organism. So when looking at the picture, I know that hormones are signaling molecules produced by cells within an organism that regulate the activity of target cells through specific receptors. So there's 3 steps. Step 1, identify what you need to memorise. Step 2, condense that information. And finally, step 3, creatively link the information to something else. What I'd like you to do here is to create a mnemonic that explains the difference between catabolic and anabolic reactions. Then upload it in the comments section or to our Facebook page with the hashtag elevatebio. We'll give the winner of the best mnemonic a Netflix voucher, which we'll announce at the end of the series.